Breaking news! The Los Angeles Rams are making the final adjustments before the start of the 2026 season. Head coach Sean McVay is evaluating a few experiments, and it's possible that we could see some surprises before the beginning of Week 1. Today I want to talk about some information involving Aaron Donald, and we also need to talk about Puka Nacua. But before we continue, make sure you've already hit the like button. But only do that if you believe the Rams can beat the 49ers in Week 1. Man, I really believe they can, but I also want to see the Rams win their preseason games. Even if they're only meant to warm up the teams, these games will give confidence to the winners. If possible, write this in the comments. Go Rams, road to the Super Bowl. All right, I want to start by talking about Puka Nacua. You know that he has become a fundamental piece for the Los Angeles Rams. And now, the discussion about his future with the organization is gaining momentum every day. After another remarkable season, the question is no longer whether he deserves a major contract extension. The real question is how quickly the Rams should act to secure the long-term future of one of the most productive players in football. The numbers alone tell an incredible story. Puka finished the season with 166 targets, 129 receptions, 1,715 receiving yards, an average of 107.2 yards per game, and 80 first downs. Each of these marks represented the best performance of his career, and several of them placed him at the top of the league. According to reports, he led the NFL in receptions, yards per game, and first downs, demonstrating just how important he has become to the offense. What makes his performance even more impressive is the way he creates opportunities. His value does not come only from touchdowns. He frequently plays a decisive role in critical situations, extending drives and keeping the offense moving. Analysts point out that his importance often shows up in the biggest moments of games, when converting first downs becomes even more valuable than highlight plays. His touchdown production also showed significant improvement. Puka recorded 10 receiving touchdowns, the best mark of his career, adding a new dimension to his game. Although much of his reputation is built on his ability to gain yards and maintain consistency, his ability to contribute near the end zone continues to grow as well. Perhaps the most impressive statistic associated with him is his efficiency. Reports indicate that Puka currently holds the highest career average yards per game among wide receivers in NFL history. This places him in an extremely exclusive group and demonstrates the impact he makes every time he steps onto the field. Given this level of production, conversations about a contract extension have become inevitable. The general opinion is that there should be no hesitation about keeping him with the team. The challenge is not deciding whether the contract should be extended, but rather determining the value of that new deal. The wide receiver market continues to rise, and projections suggest that his future contract could exceed $40 million annually. That number would place him among the highest-paid players at his position and would require careful financial planning from the organization. The situation becomes even more complicated because other receivers around the league could sign new contracts in future seasons. As the market increases, the price for elite talent may continue climbing. Waiting too long could potentially make a future extension even more expensive. The reports also discuss Puka's off-season and the challenges he has been dealing with away from football. Despite those difficulties, there are indications that he has shown remorse and is taking positive steps to improve himself. The discussion surrounding his actions remains ongoing, but there is also recognition that he has attempted to move forward responsibly. One of the most interesting developments involved reports that Puka has spent time journaling during the off-season. This effort toward self-improvement became a topic of conversation, with some people reacting negatively while others viewed it as a commitment to personal growth. The reports describe it as an effort to improve mental health and become a better version of himself. The idea behind securing his contract now is straightforward. Some believe that providing long-term security would allow him to focus completely on football and team success, instead of thinking about future negotiations. Removing those distractions could benefit both the player and the organization, As the Rams continue evaluating their future, another major storyline refuses to disappear. Aaron Donald remains one of the biggest names connected to the organization, and the possibility of his return continues generating enormous interest. Recent reports indicate that league sources believe Aaron Donald is seriously contemplating coming out of retirement. Those reports have only increased speculation surrounding his future. Communication between Donald and Sean McVay reportedly continues, and several league insiders believe a return remains possible. The story has remained alive because new information continues to emerge. Former teammates have suggested that Donald has remained prepared physically, while additional reports indicate that he continues training. The belief among some people close to the situation is that he is staying ready in case he decides to return. The organization itself has shown complete support. Sean McVay, Les Snead, and Chris Shula have all expressed that they would welcome Aaron Donald back with open arms. There appears to be no pressure from the organization regarding timing or deadlines. Instead, the decision remains entirely in Donald's hands. Some observers have suggested that training camp could represent an unofficial deadline. However, the reports indicate that there is little evidence supporting that idea. The feeling around the team is that Aaron Donald would be welcomed back whenever he decides the time is right. Training camp schedules have been discussed publicly, including reporting dates and practice periods, but there is no indication that the Rams intend to place restrictions on his decision-making process. The belief remains that if Donald wants to return, the organization would accommodate that decision regardless of timing. The continued reports have created a sense that momentum still exists. Every new statement from league insiders adds another layer to the conversation. Every mention from team officials reinforces the idea that the possibility remains alive. Meanwhile, other developments continue to shape the roster. Alaric Jackson's legal situation remains unresolved. Reports indicate that the original felony allegations were reduced to misdemeanor charges, but the possibility of league discipline remains an important factor moving forward. The NFL's personal conduct policies may still play a role in future decisions. Coaching continuity also remains an important storyline. Nate Scheelhaase continues drawing interest from around the league because of his contributions to the offense. Reports suggest that he performed well during interview processes and that additional experience may further increase his opportunities in the future. Another contract situation receiving attention involves Davante Adams. Reports point to his production, including 14 touchdown receptions during the previous season. However, his age and future performance remain central questions. Decisions regarding his future may depend entirely on what happens during the upcoming season. Special teams also entered the discussion through Ethan Evans. His reliability, field position contributions, and strong performances in important moments have led to discussions regarding a future extension. Reports highlighted his ability to pin opponents deep in their own territory and his value to the team despite receiving one of the smaller salaries at his position. But the two names dominating the conversation remain Puka Nacua and Aaron Donald. One represents the future of the offense and a player who may deserve one of the largest contracts at his position. The other represents a possible return that could immediately impact the team if he decides to come back. Puka's production, consistency, and importance continue to rise. Aaron Donald's possible return continues generating speculation. Together, these two stories have become the center of attention for Rams fans everywhere. What do you think, Rams fans? Should the Rams extend Puka Nacua immediately? And do you still believe Aaron Donald will eventually return? Let us know your opinion in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel, leave your like, and click the video on your screen because the latest Rams news and updates can always be found right here.